Good evening, everyone. I'm Lissy Bastian. It's Thursday, September 17th. Thanks for staying with us. 55 additional cases of COVID-19 being confirmed by the Ministry of Health, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 3,087. 51 of those cases are here in the capital, 3 in Abaco, and 1 confirmed case with location pending. There have been 2,107 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in New Providence, 601 in Grand Bahama, 104 in Abaco, 54 in Bimini, 25 in Exuma, 18 in Inagua, 15 in the Berry Islands and Eleuthera, 11 in Long Island, 8 in Cat Island, 7 in Acklands, 5 in Crooked Island, 3 in Andros and Mayaguana, and 111 confirmed cases with locations pending. The Ministry of Health also confirming an additional death under investigation. This increases the number of deaths under investigations to 12, and the death toll remains at 69. On average, for the last week, 40 new cases are being reported in the capital per day, according to Chief Medical Officer Dr. Pearl McMillan. However, she also noted that new cases on New Providence had been on a decline. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, while addressing Parliament yesterday, echoed those sentiments.
The medical team, health professionals have been doing an excellent job in conjunction with the Minister of Health. And we would note that numbers are coming down, and I must congratulate those in the construction industry who are become more disciplined and applied in terms of their implication masks, and that may possibly help if I was seeing a decrease. I can't say at this particular time.
Now, the Prime Minister yesterday pleaded with Bahamians to sacrifice 3 weeks of following health protocols, including wearing face masks and social distancing. He also noted that Bahamians may be surprised very soon to hear that Family Islands are COVID-free, and that he hoped very soon he can declare that the Bahamas is COVID-free.
But the Family Islands is doing very well. Harbour Island, for example, has no cases, and I'm happy to say that Harbour Island is free for all intents and purposes and can engage in the activities, but still follow the medication protocols. And I would be happy to stand very soon and declare that the entire Bahamas is in such a state. But we would need their compliance and their discipline just for 3 weeks.
Dr. Minnis added that 3 weeks of enforcement of protocols cannot be left to the Royal Bahamas Police Force alone, as they are stretched managing an entire nation, and says we are all a part of this together. Opposition Senator Fred Mitchell expressing his discontent for Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis' words in the House of Assembly yesterday morning. The opposition, including its leader Philip Davis, was not present for House proceedings due to one of Parliament's staff testing positive for COVID-19 on Tuesday. Dr. Minnis called the decision unfortunate and noted that Mr. Davis has already recovered from COVID-19 and should be immune to the virus. Well, Senator Mitchell did not take these words lightly and called on the Prime Minister to clarify his deceitful, divisive, and contradictory statement. Senator Mitchell noted that Mr. Davis is complying with the COVID-19 orders and quarantining for 14 days, as he has just recently returned to the country from a trip to the United States. The PLP chairman pointed out that it was the Prime Minister who flew to Grand Bahama last week and was then seen campaigning in Abaco on the weekend in what looked like a contravention of the quarantine rules. Senator Mitchell contends that the duplicity surrounding the COVID-19 emergency orders is what has caused so much confusion, debate, and ridicule. Well, Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer refuted Senator Mitchell's words and says the PLP senator has no moral authority to speak when it comes to the COVID-19 rules. In a statement released yesterday, Mr. Culmer reminded the public that the senator visited Grand Bahama after a prolonged stay in the United States and upon landing held a TV interview rather than going straight into quarantine. When the media asked Senator Mitchell about this, he refused to comment. Mr. Culmer insists that the PLP chairman's statement was irrational and unnecessary, and he has no idea or solution to offer to advance the Bahamian people. The FNM chairman contends that Senator Mitchell and the PLP seek to divide the country through petty political attacks, and that Bahamians were wise to elect a doctor as their leader in 2017. Shifting gears, police on Grand Bahama investigating an attempted suicide. Reports are that shortly after 12 midnight, police were called to a residence on Graveyard Corner, Pinedale, 8 Mile Rock, where a male reportedly attempted to take his own life. On arrival, officers found the 29-year-old male alive with apparent abrasions to the neck and a rope hanging from a tree that was retrieved. EMS personnel were called to the scene and the male was taken to the Rand Memorial Hospital for medical attention. You're watching JCN News. When we return, the search for those missing voters called off and a woman is one of 3 people in hospital following 3 separate shootings. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.